So students, in our today's class, we are going to discuss Unit 4, that is your geometry and quadrilaterals. Okay. Now see, in this whole chapter, I will try to understand what is quadrilateral and what are the types of quadrilateral. So first of all, we will try to understand what is a quadrilateral. See here, this is a quadrilateral. So quadrilaterals is a four-sided figure. Okay, this is a four-sided figure, or you can say a region bounded by a closed four-sided figure is also called what? A quadrilateral. So you can see here we have a given definition here. So if A, B, C, D are coplanar points such that no three of them are collinear. So collinear means when any points are on the same line, then these are called the what are collinear points. Now see what is collinear points. Say example, if I have a one point here, another point here, another point here. Now see, through these all 3 points I can draw a line, then these 3 points will be called what are collinear points. Okay. Now you can see here we have a B, C, D. We have a 4 different points are here, but taking all these 4 points or the 4 vertices together, can you draw a line? So you cannot draw a line. So that's why these all 4 points are called what your, these are called your non-collinear, or you can say it is written here, no 3 of them are collinear. Okay. The line segments AB, BC and CD, even you can see here, that's your AB, BC, CD, AD. These are what your line segments, and we know the line segment means it is a part of a line. Okay, a line segment is a part of a line. Then definition is also written here. You can see that your then the figure made up of the 4 line segments is called the quadrilateral. So this is what I have said, and in abbreviation form you can write QUEAD also. This is what your quad. And see here, A, B, C, D. We have a A, B, C, D. We have a 4 points are here. So these 4 points are called what your, these 4 points are called your vertices, vertex of your this quadrilateral. Okay. Then we'll try to understand sides, angles and diagonals of a quadrilateral. Okay. Now sides means, see here, we have a one line segment AB, DC is the another, CB is the another, and AB is the another one. That means how many sides we have here? That means this is your, actually we have a 4 different line segments here. So all these 4 different line segments are called what your side of a quadrilateral. And you can see here, this is your AB, BC, CD and DA. This is called what your sides of a side of this quadrilateral. Then next we have here what? Next we have a angles here. Okay, now see DAB. That means DAB. So this is we are talking about this A angle. Okay, now you should remember one thing. Okay, when we have a DAB, you don't get confused by we are talking about which angles. So see, in the between this D and B, what we have here A, that's in the middle part we have a A here. That means actually we are talking about angle A here. Then if I say angle A, actually this one is nothing but this is a symbol to denote whatever angles. And you can see here angle ABC. Okay, see we have a is also angle, B is also angle, C is also angle, but what is in the middle part? That is your B. That means here we are talking about the angle B. That means ABC. So here we are talking about this angle, that is your B. And when I say angle BCD, now see in the middle part what we have here C. That means here also we are talking about angle C. Then that is your what BCD. That means we are talking about this angle. And next we have a CDA. CDA, actually we are talking about this angles. Okay, that means see, this is also quadrilateral. Quadrilateral means one thing you should always remember, quad means actually 4. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 sides are there, so this is called what? Your quadrilateral. Okay, and we have a 1 2 3 4 angles are here, so just I have explained here. Then the next we have a point number C. A line segment joining 2 non-consecutive vertices is called a diagonal. Okay, now let's try to understand what do you mean by the non-consecutive. Okay, consecutive means which happens one after another. Okay, now consecutive means see, if I go in the your anti-clockwise direction, okay, over two direction you should remember. If I start moving in the clock direction clockwise, okay, then this will be called what, your clockwise. And if I start moving in your opposite direction of the clock, then it will be called what, your anti-clockwise direction. Then you can see here, actually the clock used to move like this in this direction, okay. So when I start moving in this, that means if I go like this, A to D, D to C, C to B, then I'm moving in what, you are in a clockwise direction. But if I go from A to B, B to C, C to D, and D to A, that means I'm moving in what, your opposite direction of the clock. So that's why it's called what, your anti-clockwise direction. Now here, see, a line segment joining two non-consecutive vertices, that means the vertices which are not consecutive, that means which are not occurring one after. Actually it's understood that your consecutive means if I start from A, okay, so A to B, okay, B to C, C to D, this is a consecutive order. Or if I go from A to D, D to C, or C to B, then this is also what, your consecutive. But here they are talking about the non-consecutive, that means you have to skip. Now see here, if I start you're moving from A, if I go in the anti-clockwise direction, first I must reach B, then I can your go to C. Or if I start moving from this side, first of all I must need to reach your point D, then I can reach C. That means see here, if we talk about the consecutive, A to B or A to D is a consecutive, but here we are talking about what, your A to C. So these two vertices are called what, your these two vertices are called your non-consecutive, okay. Or actually you can see the opposite ones, okay. So A to C is what, your this is your non-consecutive. So A to C we have drawn a line segment here, so AC is called what, your diagonal here. In the same way, C opposite to B is D actually, and C whenever I talk about the consecutive, B to C is consecutive, okay, B to A is also consecutive, but B to D is not consecutive. So here also we are asked to join two non-consecutive vertices. So A to C is non-consecutive and B to D is also non-consecutive. Now connect these two, that means you have to connect by a line segment. So here AC is a diagonal and here also BD is also diagonal. That means in a quadrilateral we can draw at most your two diagonals, okay. Then next we have a adjacent sides and opposite sides, okay. Now what is adjacent sides and opposite sides, okay. Now adjacent means you can see here, two sides of a quadrilateral are said to be adjacent sides of a quadrilateral if they have a common endpoint, okay. Now if they have a common endpoint, okay, now you can see here, then you can see here your what I've said, two sides of a quadrilateral are said to be adjacent sides of the quadrilateral if they have a common endpoint, okay. Now what do we mean by the common endpoint? Now you see here, okay, if I come from D, okay, D to A, okay, this is the endpoint, and again B to A, okay. Now see, for this line DA and AB, see A is what, your common endpoint, okay. So as A is the common endpoint, so AD and AB are what called your adjacent side to each other, okay. In the same way you can see here A to B, okay, as I reach to the point B, it is end here, okay. Now see here, if you start walking from C point, then when you reach B, so after this there is no road, you cannot walk anymore. So see, this is the end point. Now when I start walking from A, and again if I start walking from C, for both the cases my B is what, your end point, and this is a common, because if you start walking from C or if you start walking from A, in both the ways you will reach what, your point B. So B is called what, your common point, common endpoint. So AB and BC are also what, your adjacent side. In the same way you can see CD and AD also, CD and DA also. Then the next what we have a opposite side. The opposite is very simple. See, opposite of AB is what? CD. Now opposite of this AD is what, your BC. It's very simple, okay. So next we have adjacent angles and opposite angles, okay. Now see, what is adjacent angles? Two angles of a quadrilateral are said to be adjacent angles of the quadrilateral if they have a side of the quadrilateral in common, okay. That means side of the quadrilateral in common. Then if I consider here, you can see here, if I consider the AB line, okay, now see A is a point here, B is a point. Now see, if you consider this line segment AB, so these two are what, your end point of the same line. That means, can I say these are the common? Okay, then this angle A and angle B will be called what, your adjacent to each other. Or you can say the adjacent angle. In the same way, you see, if I consider this portion, okay, if I consider this portion, actually this is a line segment, okay, this is a line segment. Now see, this is the end point of this line segment, and this is also the end point of the line segment. And see, as this is the end point, and secondly this is also the angle of this quadrilateral. So B is the angle, C is the angle, so B and C will be called what, your adjacent angle. Then in the same way, C and D, D and A. So this is what our your adjacent angle. So opposite angles is very simple. You can see here. Opposite means you see the reverse. So opposite of A is your C. Opposite of B is your D. It's very simple. Okay. Now see. Now one thing you don't get confused, that is here we are writing DAB and we are writing angle A, angle B. It is the same thing. Okay. So as you are talking about angle DAB, so in place of angle DAB, if you write angle A only, then also it is correct. Okay, clear? Then see here. So I have explained here about the opposite angles as well. So students, next we have the sum of the angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degree. That means we will prove here. That means in a quadrilateral we have how many angles? See, 1, 2, 3 and 4. That means if I sum up the values to the angle of all these 4 together, that it always makes how much? It is your 360 degree. Now we'll see the proof here. Now see the angle sum property of a quadrilateral. Okay, now angle sum property of a quadrilateral means, actually angle sum property means, see, we have how many angles here? A, B, C, D. That means we have 4 angles. That means I have to show that when I add the value to these all 4 angles together, it should always give me how much? It should be gives me whatever 360 degree. Okay. Now for this I have to divide this quadrilateral into 2 triangles. So I am drawing a diagonal here. Okay, I'm drawing a diagonal here, and this is a diagonal. I'm naming this one, these angles. Okay, now see, as I have drawn one diagonal here, then see here we have 2 triangles here, ABD one triangle, and BDC we have another triangle. Okay, so I'll name this one as, I'm naming this angle as 1. Okay, this angle is your 2, and this angle is your 3. Okay, then again we have another triangle BDC. Okay, so this angle I'll name as your 4, this will be your 5, and this is your 6. Okay, now we know angle sum property of a triangle. Okay, then you write here in triangle your ABD. Okay, so in triangle ABD, you can see here it is your ABD. Okay, now angle sum property of a triangle, we know that angle 1, okay, plus 2 plus 3, angle 2 plus angle 3, so this is what your 180 degree. Okay, so you can write here angle sum property of a triangle. Okay, so this is we have applied what angle sum property of a triangle. Okay, so I'm writing this one as equation number 1. Okay, clear? So because of this space only I'm writing here. Okay, then see, now we'll consider another triangle, that is your in triangle BDC. Okay, so in triangle, that is your BDC. What are the angles? 4, 5 and 6. You apply the same thing, that is your 4, that is your 5, the next is your 6. So when I'm, this is again your 180 degree. Okay, this will be our equation number 2. So within the bracket you write the same region here also. Okay, so the region will be what, your same angle sum property of a triangle. Okay, then see here, then you write adding equation 1 and 2. Okay, so when we add equation 1 and 2, so we know when we are adding any two equations, you have to add the quantities which have in the your left hand side with left hand side and right hand side with your right hand side. Okay, so what are the values to the your left hand side? 1, 2 and 3. So you write here angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3. So as I have written here adding, so you write plus sign here. Then next are 4, 5, 6. So you write here angle 4 plus angle 5 plus angle 6, and you can see in the right hand side you have a 180 here, here also 180. That means you write 180 plus 180. Okay, then you see here we'll combine these angles. Okay, now see in this figure you see here. Okay, in this figure you can see here angle 1 means actually angle A. Okay, clear? Just I have named in a 1, 2, 3 just to have a clear idea about this triangle only. Actually 1 or the A, it is the same thing. I have denoted by 1 only to just make a distinction between these two triangles. Okay, then you see here, that means your, see here, now angle 1 means that is your A. Now if I need to write angle D, which means see here this diagonal divides this angle, this whole D angle into two parts, which one is named as 2, another is named here to 4. That means if I combine angle 2 and 4, then what I will get? I will get angle D. That means here I will try to combine 2 and 4. Again 5 is also independent, so no need to combine. Again you see 3 and 6, that means this B angle is actually what? 3 and 6. That means if you combine angle 3 and angle 6 together, you will get what? Your B. That means here we will combine angle 2 and 4 together just to get D, and we will combine 3 and 6 just to get B, and A and your C are the independent, which are 1 and 5. Then see how to do here. Okay, so just I have said angle 1. Okay, you write as it is. Okay, then see here what I've said, we need to combine angle your what? To get angle D we need to combine 2 and 4. Okay, for B your 3 and 6. So first of all I'll combine angle 3 and 6. Okay, then you see here there is your angle 3 plus angle 6. Okay, now this is A, this is B. Next I will come to what? Your C. That means okay, so next what I have to write here, A 3 plus C, and next is your angle C. So angle C means actually what? Angle C means angle 5. So next you write what? Your angle 5. This is your angle 5. Okay, now 1 means this is your A, 3 plus 6 means B. That means this is your C. Next I need to write what? Your D. D means what? Combination of 2 and 4. So you write this 2 and 4 together. Okay, so angle 2 and angle 4. So 180 plus 180, that is your 360 degree. Okay, it's very simple. Then see here angle 1 means just what I have said, that is your angle A. 3 plus 6 means what? It was angle B. Angle 5 means it was C. So 2 plus 4 means it actually this is what? Your angle D. This is your 360 degree. Okay, now you can see here angle A, angle B, angle C and angle D, all these four are what? Your angles of this given quadrilateral. So when you sum up the 4 angles of a quadrilateral, it is always equal to how much? It is always equal to 360 degrees. So this is how we have proved your what? This is your angle sum property of a quadrilateral. Okay, clear? Just to prove angle sum property of a quadrilateral, we have divided a quadrilateral into two different triangles, and we have applied what? Your angle sum property. It is very simple.